how did your work inform the way you parent? I mean, what is the one single thing that you think you took from your learnings as an educator that you now implement with the way you parent your kids?
I mean, Montessori made me much more sensitive to core Montessori idea. When a child is invested in a developmentally valuable activity, you protect that and you don't interrupt it and you just let it go. Like, you don't try to help. You don't say, yay, good job. You don't like get in there and encourage them. You don't like, you just like, if their sibling comes along, you try to protect them. You protect that sacred time. Concentration is sacred in Montessori. And I don't think I really knew that before I read Montessori. That was the first insight that I got from Montessori, and it's one of her most famous insights, and it's true. Yeah, it's like, if you've, I don't know, you're a parent, so maybe you can share stories, but like, I mean, when Adam, my younger son, when he was like 4 or 5 weeks old, we had him on a I made a changing table for him out of a tool bench. And I there was like diaper changing stuff, but also some of my tools were still on it. And he would just lie on the changing table after we changed him for like half an hour and just like stare at the tools and kind of reach for them and bat at them. And nothing could hurt him. I would just sit on the couch and watch him stare at the tools for half an hour. Like, this is a 5-6 week old baby. And like, I think absent Montessori, I would have just been like, I'm picking him up.
And
yeah, like,
do
like
something.
or like talk to him while he's doing that. It's so natural.
Right.
It's not at all like a bad instinct to like want to play with children. That's like one of the most human instincts. But that has informed a lot of my work, and my parenting.
Well, how do you connect that to I call it the sovereignty principle, which is, I found working with adults and employees and running meetings and teams and so on, is that whenever you start a sentence with "you should," immediately, 80% of their attention is gone because of the sovereignty principle, which is, for me, is, do you really understand how agency works? And the fact that you're already leaning on me and tell me what I should immediately takes a lot of the attention away. Do you think that's the same thing happening? Because it's not just with children. I talk to my my 20-year-old or my 24-year-old, and it's the same thing. It's like, I don't tell them what they should be doing. I can say, look, in my experience, you want to think about this or think about that. Do you think it's another facet of the same aspect of something about human agency that needs that independence, that sovereignty on, I am the prime mover, nobody...
Yeah. I mean, I think it basically is the same thing, though, with should in particular. So, I mean, there are two senses of should, or you have to, or you need to, or, all these terms. One is like a deontological or authoritarian sense, like, because I said so, or because God told me to, or because the moral law within, whatever. Like, this is what is obligated to me. This is my duty, and duty comes in many shapes and flavors, but like, it always has the same psychological flavor, which is like, I have to do this thing, regardless of what I want to do. And I don't understand why. There's another sense of should, which is like, given your goals, all things considered, the following will help you accomplish your goals. and often when we tell children things like, you should get into the car and buckle your seatbelt. Why should I? It's like, because we're going to the birthday party that you want to go to, and that's how you get there. And if you delay for too long, we'll be so late that we can't even go because like this party actually has a specific start time for some reason. And it's like, that's should doesn't there mean because I said so. Should there means because we have, including you, have agreed to do this thing that we all want to do together, and that has certain requirements. I think my observation is, if you raise children on the premise of they're independent and you generally explain things to them and you're responsive to their reasons, and like your whole focus is on creating a child who can be more and more independent over time, recognizing that they start off less independent and they become more independent, and you just kind of take that approach and infuse it, like, they don't necessarily have the same kind of negative reaction to shoulds. They come to see shoulds as like less deontological and more like task requirements.
Got it. So it's more like a negative reaction to more of the you should because I say so.
And everybody, I mean, it's a deeply human thing, deeply American thing when somebody says you should do something, like to be like, F you, like, I'm not, I do what I want. But But I think it's like when I tell myself that I should do things, it's very, the concept should is good, and you should have a concept of should because it's the proper way to conceptualize task requirements.
Right.